Не помню, как день года, что год не написано в зале.
Crushing the hike. Killing it.
Are we there yet? This is the scramble to the lookout. It's like, what is it? Almost 1,000. 1,000 feet elevation. So. Putting on my outer shell. We just had lunch, and so now we have 2 more miles of the hike left.
Saying goodbye to Puerto Natales.
My boxed dinner and breakfast tomorrow.
Steak and eggs. Ooh, steamy.
Hike number 2.
Número dos.
It's cloudy.
Also snowing. Who's crushing this hike?
Literally crushing the rocks. I don't know. What?
Hello everyone, my name is Joffrey Victory, and this part of the video is about us talking about our trip to Argentina and Chile, mainly the Patagonias.
Hi, and I'm making a guest appearance on Joffrey's channel. I'm repping the Taylor Swift shirt in honor of this video.
Something that the video doesn't show is that the Buenos Aires part is actually split into two parts.
We were in Buenos Aires, but we split the Buenos Aires trip. So our first leg of the trip was in Buenos Aires we flew in Friday morning and then we left Monday morning. And for this part of the trip, we had tickets to see the Queen, Taylor Swift. And so this was really interesting because we had tickets for her show, her November 10 show, which was a Friday. But we flew in Friday morning thinking that we were going to see Taylor Swift that night. However, And I was getting concerned about this because I was tracking the weather in Buenos Aires for like a whole week, and it was going to rain. The Apple app said that it was going to rain, but I didn't think much of it because Taylor Swift has performed in the rain before, so I really didn't think it would be that big of a deal. We ended up seeing her show on Sunday when we discovered that she made the announcement that she was going to postpone to Sunday. So anyway, we saw her on Sunday, and that was super cool. One of the cool things about Argentina is they have this concept called the blue dollar rate. In other words, so you have your official exchange rate. I think at the time that we went, the official exchange rate was $1 equals 350 Argentinian pesos. The blue dollar rate is their unofficial, technically illegal exchange rate, where $1 equals 900 pesos. I don't quite understand how that works, like the science behind it, but basically the Argentinian peso is very weak, and they value the US dollar there, and not only just the US dollar, but like other foreign currencies like the euro. They value heavily the US dollar and the euro. So as a result, if you wire yourself money through Western Union to pick up in Argentina, you will get the blue dollar rate versus the official exchange rate. So that's a tip for you there. You can make this trip super affordable if you wire yourself money to pick up at Western Union over there, which is what we did.
The main reason that we went on this trip is for the Patagonias. And the three main attractions that we really wanted to see was the Perito Moreno Glacier,
Torres del Paine in Chile, and Mount Fitz Roy.
For the Perito Moreno Glacier, we booked a group tour, right?
The group tour, there's really only one company that kind of monopolizes over this activity, and they're called Hielo y Aventura, and they're pretty cool. This was a really cool experience, probably one of my favorite experiences on this trip, and it felt super surreal just walking on ice. They have you set up with like wearing these really big crampons so that you don't fall, and it's basically they just guide you through a mini trek on the ice for like 3 hours, and then at the end of the trek they feed you with like whiskey shots using ice from the Patagonia Glacier, which was pretty cool. We eventually crossed the border into Chile, and we stayed in the mountain town of Puerto Natales, which if you are going to go to Torres del Paine National Park, Puerto Natales is the closest mountain town. It's about an hour and a half away. The hike that we did in Torres del Paine National Park is called Mirador Las Torres hike. On All Trails, it did say it was like 13.5 miles, but my Strava tracked it as almost like 15 miles. It was pretty intense.
The awesome thing about this hike was the refugio that we stopped at in the middle of the hike.
Yeah, the really cool thing about having a refugio in the middle of this hike is that you don't have to start off the hike with like bringing all of your stuff. Like you don't have to bring all of your water, all of your snacks, because you can do all of that at the refugio.
After Mirador Las Torres, we left Puerto Natales in Chile. The hike to Mount Fitz Roy was a little, I would say a little easier than Mirador Las Torres. Would you say so?
I would say so, and that's pretty surprising because according to All Trails, the elevation gain for this Mount Fitz Roy hike is actually like more. But I think what really helped me was, so this hike had a really tough scramble. I think the scramble at the end was like, you gain like 1,500 feet of elevation in just 0.6 miles. So it seemed really tough at first, But I think because it was raining at the time and it was snowing, I wanted to be careful, so I took my time, which actually made it easier for me because I was taking my time.
Something that that's somewhat glossed over in the video is really the tough weather conditions that we were dealing with going up to Mount Fitz Roy. We experienced snow and a little bit of rain, but heavy snow and heavy fog, heavy clouds covering Mount Fitz Roy. We didn't even know if we were gonna see the peak of Fitz Roy.
When we got to the base of the hike, there were a couple of hikers coming down, and so I stopped and asked them, like, hey, is it worth it going to the top? And a lot of them said no, but we ended up pushing ourselves, and we just decided, you know what, let's just keep going until we can't anymore. We can always turn around. And I'm super glad that we ended up not listening to them and just going, because at the end of the hike, we were met with the most beautiful view of Mount Fitz Roy. And after just waiting a couple of minutes and having our lunch, it was almost as if the sky cleared up just for us. So next thing I want to talk about is buses. They're much cheaper than renting a car, which we originally wanted to rent a car. However, because we went on the shoulder of peak tourist season, it wasn't really feasible for us. So we ended up utilizing the public bus transportation. And for the most part, I would say it was pretty reliable. Most of the buses did arrive somewhat close to what was listed on the ticket. Except for one bus. Our bus from Puerto Natales to El Calafate,
which is a connecting bus.
We were late by like an hour and a half, which forced us to miss our connecting bus from El Calafate to El Chalten. But that was just a mishap, and then we ended up rebooking another bus. But I would say if you want to save money and if you have a lot of time on this trip, definitely utilize the public bus transportation. Most of them, I actually highly recommend Bus Sur. Out of the different buses that we used, Bus Sur was probably my favorite. They're more modern and they have comfortable seats, Wi-Fi even.
Yeah, you always need Wi-Fi.
Yeah, especially in Patagonia. The Wi-Fi, for the most part, was okay, but in some areas, it can definitely be spotty.
It makes sense that, like, the buses took a while. I think that's, since we crammed it all in a 20-minute video, the bus rides took about 3 hours every time. 3 to 4 hours for every transfer that we did.
10 out of 10, highly recommend making the long trip to Patagonia. It is pretty long. We flew from SFO, we had a connection in Dallas, and then a 10-hour flight to Buenos Aires, and then another 3-hour flight to Patagonia. It was really surreal when we were driving from El Calafate to El Chalten, and then to just see the Patagonia logo in like real life. It was so cool. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, no, not really.
Overall, I highly recommend going to Patagonia. If you're an adventure lover and you love the great outdoors, you should definitely make it a point to go to Patagonia.
This would be the greatest outdoors. Overall, the trip was good. The trip was great. I loved every minute, every day that we would just travel and go from one place to another. And love the countries. And I hope to be back soon.
Peace.